The next part of the little topic is the uncertainty and the stress of the unknown. Because most of us thought that we were happy because we had a retirement fund going on. We had our paychecks coming in every 15th or whatever day. And then we had some things that we trusted. We had some things that we invested, and then we found security in those things. But really, I want you to think of a period of your life in which things were so dark, things were so not certain, and everything that you could apply as a solution was insufficient. So I actually want you to think of a time just like that and then see what happened next. When there was no hope, when there was no solution, and when there was no expectation for the situation to improve. What happened next? Because something happened and we are still here. You are not in that space. You moved on and you came to here. This is what I'm trying to say is this is the beauty of life, that actually we are living not when we know. When we know, we are functioning. And notice anything, just bring your awareness to anything that is controlled. Military is controlled. Is it fun? Is it enjoyable? Traffic is controlled. Is it fun or enjoyable? Your workspace is controlled and regulated. Is it fun or enjoyable? No. But anything that we actually feel like we are alive is coming from the unknown. Like you go to a new place, you don't know what you're going to expect. You don't know what you're going to experience. And that is driving. That is giving you the excitement. That is giving you the feeling of being alive. Not when you are working 9 to 5, knowing exactly what to do. So we forgot that the actual sense of being alive, the actual sense of embracing this life is not out of security, is not out of knowing what to do, but it's actually the times that you are 100% oblivious of what's going to happen. Because that's when your brain starts to work. This is like a nebulae. It's always when there is nothing around, it starts to fire up. When you ask your brain, do this, do that, do this, do that, it just becomes a lousy slave. And it does get tired of itself. But once you sit down with your brain or sit down with yourself, and then this is the situation, what are we going to do? Then it starts to go into that creation mode, because creation is within us as well as control. So we have to separate those lines and get out of the realm of the control and the familiar stuff, and really open ourselves into the realm of the unknown, because that's where we experience the real life. Does it make sense? Can you relate to this? So this is the perfect time, like not as a person, not as a country, but the entire earth, that we have the greatest chance to step our game up. Because if you tell your brain that you are a yoga teacher, if you tell your brain, like if you identify with being anything, it can be a king or it can be a janitor, doesn't matter. The second you tell yourself or you identify yourself with something, then you stop living life. You start to go into the maintenance mode, because I know I am a father. I know I am a successful man. I know I am a king. I know I am this. Whatever I call myself, I limit everything else. So because I know that I am this, my brain starts to get into the defense mode, and I have to maintain that identity. Because if I do not maintain that identity, if I'm not a person who is making 6 figures during the year, and if I do not have that identity anymore, then I am, according to myself, screwed. And all the things that I hold myself dear to are gone too, because the identity that I took upon myself is being taken away from me. But what happens when you tell yourself that I am, I'm not a job, I'm not a title, I'm not a profession, but I am a human being, let's say. And this is like the second you take yourself not as a result but as an experience, then even stress becomes beautiful, because notice how you feel when you are stressed and take the connotation of stress out of the picture. It's a tight, deep, heavy sensation which can be cherished, which can be used to take the next step. So if I wasn't stressed, I would not be able to put a workshop together. It gives you the thing that you need to do. If you were not stressed, if you didn't have cortisol, none of us would be awake right now. We would still be sleeping, almost dead. So our understanding, our perception of things are actually tarnishing the actual experience of it. So I really want to like invite you guys to cherishing the experience of it rather than avoiding some stuff and being attached to some other stuff. You know, if my life is consisting of, oh, I want to be happy on this side and I do not want to be sad, then I'm not living life. I am basically stuck in an inertia. And inertia does not mean nothing happening. Inertia is actually the combination of conflicting forces. You might have all the potential, but 50% pushing you this way and 50% pushing you this way. You're trying to avoid from sadness and you are or stress. You are trying to go towards happiness, and in this case you forget how to appreciate the experience. But how good would it be if life was just one thing? You know, the spectrum, like you look at the rainbow and it's on the purple. Let's say purple is joy, red is anger, or like the bottom of the spectrum and the top of the spectrum. Like, then do you really want to live your entire life with one color, or do you want to experience the whole spectrum of the rainbow? So this is the same thing. Our mind is putting ourselves into what should be, and this perceived should is actually taking the beauty of what it actually is. Does it make sense? Does it ring any bells? So like uh, towards the end, I will take some questions before we finish. But let's do another little meditation in terms of really appreciating the spaces in between each and every breath, the space of the unknown. How does that sound?
Okay.
I will read a little bit of a chapter. Just you can close your eyes and get yourself to another comfortable position. This is called a moment of suspense. Bring your awareness to your breath, please. Just focus on your breath and let's acknowledge how fascinating the action of breathing already is. It is an action that is half voluntary and half involuntary. So if you do not want to breathe, you will still be breathing. You cannot kill yourself by holding your breath. But at the same time, you can alter the way you breathe. You can alter the way you experience life. It's like a very simple point of understanding life. It's either life happening to you or you are living life. So let's take a sneak peek through the gap between an exhale and a possible inhale, because you are not guaranteed to take the next inhale after your exhale. The fact that you have been inhaling after an exhale, you might think that you will always do so, but one day it will just be an exhale with nothing else to follow. Let your body breathe in and out effortlessly. And every inhale could be an expression of gratitude. And every exhale can be an expression of your own unique intention and the expression of your own self. But as you breathe, some things happen. And again, you find yourself taking another fresh load of breath. This is instinctual, as your brain, again, is designed to make sure you survive. I am alive. Breath is natural and neutral. Bringing your awareness to the natural. Breathing in and breathing out at its own pace. Let's not change, let's not alter. Allow the body to breathe. As you breathe, a thought might rise. Pulse. Maybe an emotion. This could feel like a landslide or an erosion. Maybe there is an urge to hold the motion or change the direction. Just let the breath in and out its own pace. Breathing in, breathing out effortlessly and comfortably. As you breathe, somewhere along the way, there lies a lapse, a blankness, maybe a space of an unknown. You might feel as though you are in a place even before you were born. There are some lines that are separating the real from the dream, but they are being torn. Let the breath in and out at its own pace. In between the breath, a moment of suspense hangs in the space. But the flow of the mind will come to embrace. As the possibility of the next breath is still in place, allow your body to breathe in and breathe out at its own pace. Momentarily, let your mind to hover over the possibility that the next breath might not come. After all, we should have some room for the inevitable, but always unexpected to come. Feel this flow until the cycles are done. Let the breath in and out at its own pace. Acknowledging this life as a whole spectrum of experience. No more attaching, nor more avoidance. Coming to the terms of this unique human experience. Allow your body to breathe in and breathe out at its own pace. From the breath, allow your awareness to expand. Feeling the motion of the breath within the body, within the lungs. Feeling this flow along the arms, along the legs. Relax your neck and relax your face. Allow yourself to breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. When you feel ready, you can gently move the tips of your toes and the fingers of the hands. And you know when the right time is. When it is the right time, gently open your eyes back to this space. Welcome back, everybody. So this entire life is a little bit sweeter and a little bit smoother once we get to accept whatever it is. Any reflections, any questions?
I think I think it's just so, like, it's always such a good reminder. Like, it doesn't take a lot. It's always within us to, like you said, to go back to your sensations, and it's there. Check in with it, and like I like already feel so much more calm. Few minutes of checking in, and like you have a different outlook, you have a different mindset, you have a different view. So amazing.
Yes, I mean the grid is always like we can always connect horizontally with ideas and teachings and this and that, but we all have that vertical line to connect to, just like tune in and it's available if you choose to.
Yeah. We chose to today.
Yes, today was a conscious choice.
Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, just like what my sister was saying. It's just like, it's so simple. Come back to your breath, slow things down, and just experience that feeling that stresses us out. Because once you experience it, once you feel it, and then it passes, then you know, like, other stressors, other situations, just experience it for what it is. And as you said earlier, like, things kind of work out in the end. Just because there's a stressful situation today doesn't mean that stressful situation is to be present tomorrow. Eventually it'll just fade away.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think breathing always good because it's bring you back to the moment. So I actually more like this workshop should be for my husband, but he's not available anyway. So I think just like you learn the breathing or just bring yourself to the moment, that present moment that you live in moment by moment, then it's already really peaceful. Because people worry, I mean, it's also a future thing or the expectations of future thing. Have to, but if you just learn to run one moment by one moment, this moment I'm really happy, I'm very relaxed because of breathing, because you bring me back to the present moment. So that's,
I mean, like, one thing that, like, one of the biggest fears of human beings is being gone, you know, fear of death, that everybody at different levels experience it. But this moment here and now is the only moment that we can truly experience infinity and timelessness. So rather than future or the back, once we are here, then each moment is a whole and complete experience within itself, as long as we are aware of it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daisy. Amber, and would you like to? And Shayla, what was your name, Shayla? It went away now. Yes, Shayna. Okay.
Hi. Just a feeling of gratitude and a feeling of memories. And I traveled a few places and in time, and how you take all of those experiences and all of that love, and you can go back to it at any time.
So true. Because it's like, it's all within us, that again, it's a conscious choice. And we didn't even mention gratitude, but gratitude is the natural result of being present. Because you don't really have to be grateful for your job. You don't really have to be grateful for the house. You don't even need to be grateful for nothing. But like these legs that I have, these arms, and then the voice, and the fact that I am here and I can communicate with you, like, even leave that apart, the fact that I am breathing and I'm thinking, like, if we have to make a list of gratitude, we will run out of time before we die. We can't even be grateful for everything that we actually have by default. So thank you so much. Amber?
I just feel very good. Very peaceful now.
That's it.
Relaxed.
Awesome.
Yeah, very present. And I think that's your point, is just being present changes it all.
Thank you guys so much. It has been I don't know, like it has been a great experience for me as well. Just to, like, I sit by myself, and then, you can only be so grateful unless you share it.
Yeah.
And just sharing is making it way more meaningful. Thank you so very much.